So, you are now in Korea. You have gotten into the EPIC program. You are so excited that you are here. You are finally here. After about 6 months of the application process, you have made it here and you couldn't be happier. But then at the back of your head, you keep thinking about your first day of work. You keep thinking about it and it's making you panic. It's making you freak out because you keep thinking,
what if I make a mistake? What are they looking for? What are they expecting? What's going to happen on that day? Like, what if my co-teacher doesn't like me? What if my vice principal doesn't like me? What if?
whoa, stop it. Calm down. Take a breath. And then now breathe out. Don't worry. Do not worry. I got you. I got you. Hello everybody, my name is Letty Maps. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome to my channel, Letty Maps the World. So today I'm back with another awesome video. So a couple of days ago, I received a message and this girl was asking me for tips on how to make a good impression on her first day. And I was like, perhaps I should make a video on that, and here I am today. So I love your questions, you guys. Like, please do send me messages on Instagram. If you have any question, just send it to me because sometimes I make content based on the questions that I get asked on Instagram. If you do not follow me on Instagram, I will leave my profile somewhere on the screen so that you guys can follow me there. I post a lot about my daily life and my daily life here in Korea. You can see things that I do, and that's it. So yeah, you can follow me there and you can ask me a question should you have any, and I reply to my messages. Like, I do reply. Yes, I do. Okay, so if I'm talking weird, it's because I got my wisdom tooth extracted a couple of days ago, so my face is still swollen. I don't know if you can see it, but I got my bottom wisdom tooth extracted. So this side is actually more swollen than the other one. I don't know if you can see it, but if you don't, then great. And if I speak weird, just know that it's because of that. So it's painful, and I think I'm gonna make a vlog about it because I remember I was looking for videos on YouTube about wisdom teeth extraction, how much it costs, and I couldn't find any information. So I was like, this is giving me some ideas. I think that I should make a video about it. So I'm gonna make a video about it in a couple of days because I still have to go back to the dentist and get this tooth extracted. So maybe in like 3 weeks from now, I'll post the video when I am done with the extractions and I know how much I have spent, because I still have to pay for this tooth. So there's that. But the good thing is that the Korean healthcare system is very efficient and it's actually really, well, I'm not gonna say cheap, but it's cheaper compared to the health system in South Africa. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. Today we are going to be talking about your first day at work. I remember when I was at orientation, I was freaking out about my first day. Like, even when I had to go and meet my co-teacher, I was so scared because I didn't know what to expect. So your last day of orientation, that's when you are going to be like, wow, to get real. It's about to get real because you know, one thing that I noticed is that you become so focused with the application process, with getting into Korea, that you kind of forget that the EPIC program is actually a job. And only after orientation, that's when you're like, oh my God, I'm actually going to work. Like, my friends and the friends that I have made during orientation, we are all gonna go to different parts of Korea and we are all going to start working. And that is nerve-wracking, especially if this is like your first time teaching job, or if it's like your first job ever. Because for many people, the EPIC job is like our first job. But then that's when you realize that, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I am freaking out. Yeah, but then do not worry. Like I said, we are going to talk about all the tips. I'm going to give you tips. So grab your notepad, grab your pen or your phone and go to like your notes, because I will be giving you all the tips. Okay. You're welcome. This is just based on my experience, and I spoke to a couple of friends, and the tips that they shared with me are the tips that I also wanted to share with you guys. All right, so after your orientation, you are going to go to the immigration office where you will meet your co-teacher. You'll meet your co-teacher over there. So I would advise you to dress formally. And when I say formally, I don't mean suit and tie, guys. Like, just even if it's like a semi-casual, just look presentable, look good, because that's going to be your first time meeting your co-worker, your co-teacher. And let me tell you something about the epic experience. The relationship that you have with your co-teacher will either make or break you, okay? Will make or break you. Yep. So you want to make a good first impression. So you're gonna go there, and then you're gonna get off the bus, and your co-teacher will be right there waiting for you. Hi. I remember I was so nervous. I was like, okay, how am I gonna say hello? Hi. I was like, that's too much. Okay, that's too much. Hey. No, that's too casual. 안녕하세요. Is that too formal? Oh my god. But then yeah. So you're going to go to the immigration office where you will do your alien registration card, or ARC, which is like an ID for foreigners. Yeah, so that alien registration card, that's going to be a very important document during your stay in Korea. Whenever you want to do anything, whenever you go to the doctor, whenever you go to the bank, just pretty much anything, they will require you to have your ARC. So that's a very important document to have. Yes, and then afterwards, then your co-teacher will then take you to your apartment, and they'll show you like, oh, this is your apartment. I remember when I walked into this apartment. You know what? That's a story for another day. That's a whole story for another day. Should you have enough time, you will then go to your school. Dun, dun, dun. You will then go to your school, or they might take you straight to your school after your visit at the immigration office. And then at your school, that's when you will meet the principal, the vice principal, and your other co-teachers, because you will most likely work with more than one co-teacher. So I work at a middle school, and I work with 5 co-teachers. So you have like your main handler. Your main handler is the one who helps you with your move to Korea. Like, they help you to settle into Korea, and everything that you need, any question that you need, you will go to your handler. But then you'll be teaching with other teachers as well. Yeah, because I do that. Like, I teach with like 5 co-teachers, but that's also because my school is really big. So depending on the size of your school, you may have multiple co-teachers, or you could just have one if your school is like really small. Yeah. All right, so then when you get to your school, you are going to meet your co-teacher and your co-teachers and your co-workers and the vice principal or the principal. I actually have like a story with the principal. So the first time I met the principal, when he was about to retire. So I met him, I went there and I introduced myself on my first day, and then it was good. And then the next week I had to meet the new principal, because I met the principal on his last day of work, and then the next week I had to meet the new principal. And when I met the new principal, oh my goodness. So I met the new principal as she was also being welcomed. So there was like a staff meeting, like the whole faculty, all the teachers were all in like one classroom, one of the biggest classrooms we have, because we were all meeting the new principal all at the same time. So the principal walked in, and then she gave a speech and everything, and then my co-teacher was like, hey, and I was like, yeah. She's like, you're gonna have to go and introduce yourself. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, you're gonna have to introduce yourself to all the other teachers. I'm like, in front of everybody? Nah. So yeah, I had to I had to introduce myself in front of the whole faculty. And that could happen to you. You might have to introduce yourself in front of the whole faculty. All right. So I stood there. So I stood up and then I went to the front. Everybody was looking at me, and there was another teacher who was like recording the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No, but then you know what? Thank goodness I watch K-dramas. I love K-dramas. I knew what to say. I introduced myself in Korean. Yes, I introduced myself in Korean. So I stood up and I was like, 안녕하십니까? Everybody was like, oh, and I was like, stop it. Stop. So I said, 안녕하십니까? And then I also bowed. You know, like, okay, that bow, my forehead was on my knees. My forehead was on my knees. I bowed, Brian. Like, I bowed. So that's what I did. I was like, 안녕하십니까? Like, 레티입니다. 남아공 사람이요. Which means like, my name is Letty. I'm from South Africa. Oh, I'm South African. And then I said, 만나서 반갑습니다. Which means I'm happy to meet you. And then I also said, 잘 부탁드립니다. And everybody was like, oh my god. I felt so proud. I was so proud. So you know what? Another tip, learn how to introduce yourself in Korean. It really helps with building relationships with your Korean co-workers, because it shows them that you are willing to learn their language, you are willing to immerse yourself into the Korean culture, which is also one of the reasons why you are here, to learn a little bit Korean, to learn about the Korean culture. So I feel like that was a great first impression. I don't mean to brag, I'm just saying. Okay, me, I'm bragging. I have every right to brag. Okay. Oh, and if it happens that you don't meet the vice principal or the principal on the day you arrive, just remind your co-teacher like the next day. You know, just be like, hey, I haven't met the principal and I would like to meet the principal. Yeah, because you don't want to bump it on the principal at like the hallway, and the principal is like, "누구세요?" which just means, who are you? And then you introduce yourself there. No, I feel like it's good to just go to the principal and introduce yourself. You know, my experience with both principals at my school was amazing. The first principal, I still remember his words. Okay, my co-teacher was translating, but oh my goodness, what a kind man he was. Like, I only saw him for one day, but he was very kind to me. He told me that, he was like, you are here, you are representing your country, and we are representing our country. And he was like, you'll be misunderstood, and you might have a oh my god, why am I getting emotional? And you might have like difficult time in our country, but I hope that you're going to love this country, and I hope that it loves you. And I was like, yeah. And the current principal, she is very kind to me. She is so good to me, I'm not gonna lie. And she has also given me tips, because she was also an English teacher. She has given me tips about how to do my lessons, because she once attended my open class. So that you will have an open class where teachers could just walk in and watch you teach, and even sometimes parents could be invited in, but parents were not invited because of COVID restrictions. Yes, so it's good to formally introduce yourself to the principal, not like it happened on the hallway. No, just go to the principal's office and be like, this is me. And depending on where you are, you might meet the vice principal right away, because I am at the staff room, and because I'm placed at the staff room, the vice principal is also, her office is also at the staff room. So she was one of the first people that I met. But then if you have your own class, you might have to go to the staff room and meet like the vice principal. Yeah. And about the gifts. All right. So this one, I've said this before and I will say it again. Every situation is different, guys. So most of the time, like my principal doesn't accept gifts from teachers. Like it doesn't matter who you are, she just doesn't accept gifts. And a lot of principals do not. So I think it will also depend on the size of your school as well. So if your school is like really big, I don't think the principal will accept a gift from you, because I think according to the law, Korean law, it may be viewed as like bribery. So I did not bring any gifts for my co-teachers as well as my principal and vice principal. I didn't. But then when I got my first salary, I bought some pastries from Paris Baguette and I shared them with the whole staff room, because that's where I was placed. So I sit at the staff room with other teachers. So I knew how many teachers were there, and I bought some pastries, and I made sure that the pastries that I got were less than 30,000 won, because you're not supposed to spend anything over 30,000 won. I think according to the law. I could be wrong. If you're well versed on the law, please correct me on the comment, and after that you can hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, you can also hit that subscribe button. All right. But yeah, I did not bring any gifts from South Africa for my co-teachers and the principal and vice principals, and yeah, because I knew that it may be viewed as bribery. Yeah, but then like I said, when I got my first salary, I bought some pastries. So you can just go to Paris Baguette or to Tour le Jour and then just buy something like a cake and then share it with everybody. Then that's not viewed as bribery, because you are sharing it with literally everyone at the staff room. Oh, and that's another thing that will happen on your first day of work. Your co-teacher will tell you where you will be spending most of your time. So you might have your own classroom, or you might be put in an office with other teachers, or you might be put in a staff room. So it's different. Every school is different. At my school, no teacher has their own classrooms. All the teachers are in the staff rooms. So there are different staff rooms. I think there are about 4 or maybe 6 or even more staff rooms. There are a lot of teachers. So with the gift situation, I really cannot answer that, because so the second thing that might happen is that your co-teacher might take you shopping on your first day, or yeah, they may take you shopping on your first day, because like I said, you may need some supplies for your home, you may need some grocery, you may need some cleaning supplies. That's what my co-teacher did. By the way, guys, my co-teacher is amazing. Oh my god, like my co-teacher is an angel sent from above. Thank you, Lord, for my co-teacher. Yeah, and they might also walk you around or drive you around your town, depending on how big it is, just to show you the supermarket, where Daiso is. Daiso is a very important place, guys. So like when you get to a place, just ask Daiso or Disoyo, which means where is Daiso? Just be like, Chokyo, Daiso or Disoyo? And they will point you to Daiso. If you cannot find, like, go to Daiso first. Whatever you can't find, that's when you can look for it elsewhere. Because Daiso is really cheap. In Daiso, everything is under 5,000 won. Nothing is over 5,000 won. So just go to Daiso, buy your stuff there. What you cannot find there, buy it elsewhere. Even your noodles. Because let me tell you something. The first month is hard. The first month is rough. It's rough. It's not rough, it's rough. I don't miss the first month. Like, oh my god, the first month, no. Thank God that God pulled me out of the first month. Oh, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Because that was hard. So even your noodles, buy them at Daiso. Literally buy everything you can at Daiso. Whatever you don't find at Daiso, that's when you can look for it elsewhere. Okay, all right. This is a very important tip. Yeah, because Daiso is like really cheap. And so yeah, they will do shopping. If like you might have to buy your bedding, and bedding is Bedding is expensive. Bedding is expensive, okay? Yeah, bedding is expensive. Right, yeah. And then another thing, let me see. I wrote some stuff down. So teaching. Okay, so on my first day at my school, I didn't teach. Instead, because I have 5 co-teachers, I was like shadowing my co-teachers just to see how they taught, to see what the students were doing, because I came in the August intake, so it was like in the middle of the school year. So I didn't know what the students were doing. I didn't know which lesson to start with. So my co-teachers are amazing. Actually, all of them, like all my 5 co-teachers that I teach with, I love them, and some of them are leaving. I am so sad that I'm gonna have new co-teachers, but you know what, at the same time I'm really excited because it's new people and I get to learn from them as well. So I hope that me and the new co-teachers will get along just like I got along with the old co-teachers. So yes, as I was saying, teaching on your first day. I didn't teach on my first day. On my first day, my co-teachers were like, no, just sit at the back and then just observe what we're doing with the students, take down some notes, get some ideas about how you want to conduct your classes. But then that was me. Some of my friends, on their first day, the co-teachers were like, okay, it's your time now. And they were like, what? Now? I just got here. So prepare a all about me presentation. I feel like all of us, okay, people from my intake, we all did an all about me presentation. Like that one is easy to make because it's all about you. So just put a little bit about yourself, put some pictures about your hometown and things that you'd like. Do an all about me presentation, especially like right now when you're in quarantine or orientation, so that when you get to your school and then your co-teacher is like, the stage is yours, you can just take out your USB and be like, yeah, I'm ready, I came prepared. And then you do an all about me, you introduce yourself to the students, and yeah, and yes, I think that's all that I have to share with you today. But to everyone who got to Korea, congratulations for making it here. I hope that you will love your stay here, and I hope that Korea is everything that you hoped it would be, and a whole lot more. I hope you found this video entertaining, and I hope you found it helpful and informative, because that's what I aimed for. I wanted it to be informative. Please do leave a comment on the comment section should you have any question, or if you want to compliment me on my red lipstick, leave a comment below. Don't be shy. Okay, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching until this far. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to 1.3 subscribers, like to 1,300 subscribers. Thank you so much. I am here today because of you, and I am happy that I get to share my experience and my journey with you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and good night. Yeah, it's at night. 사랑해. 안녕.